You've undoubtedly heard about the Fab Four. Well, today, guys, I want to talk about the Faux Five. The five biggest fakes, phonies, and frauds through the first 5 weeks of the NFL season. I have Al DeMarco here, General Manager of the world's largest online sports handicapping sites in the world. And I'll be returning, of course, bright and early on Wednesday morning with your regular free pick video report and my in-depth analysis as usual. And, of course, I just want to give you the heads up. The charity play of the week will be coming your way either on Thursday or Friday, so make sure you check back. It has won 20 of the past 28 weeks. But first, let's talk about a little football here as we look into the rearview mirror. Without a doubt, the biggest fake, phony, and fraud in the NFL this season, the Atlanta Falcons, and you saw why on Monday night. I mean, so much was expected of the Falcons coming into this season. I mean, this was going to be their potential Super Bowl run. So they decided they needed to upgrade at running back. They go and they get rid of Michael Turner. They bring in Steven Jackson. But how many times have you seen over the past 20 years a team go out and get a running back with big-time mileage and either see him underperform and underwhelm or simply break down? And in Jackson's case, it's the injury bug that has hurt them. But more importantly for the Falcons, they went out and upgraded their offense, but they did nothing to help that defense. A defense that repeatedly collapsed on them late last season. I mean, the warning signs were there. So to see the Falcons give up 134 points in 5 games and be thoroughly outplayed in the second half of just about every game this season is no big surprise. The surprise is this once potential Super Bowl team is sitting here floundering at 1-4, looking from the bottom to the top of their division at the New Orleans Saints, who remain undefeated after the road win at Chicago. Next fraud, well, it's a fraud that I've been warning you about since the start of the season, the Houston Texans. I didn't think the Texans were that good, and it certainly helps that their defense has been that bad. I mean, the Texans have given up 139 points through 5 games. That's 5 more points than the Falcons have allowed. And Matt Schaub? Yeah, maybe he's colorblind. I mean, with all these pick sixes and interceptions thrown to the wrong team. But their defense really hasn't played that well since the opening weeks of last season when everybody was on the Texans bandwagon. And that's why they're 2-3 so far this year. Another phony? The New York Giants. And you tell me, did anybody see the Giants starting the season at 0-5? I mean, the defense can't stop anybody. Think about it. The Falcons have given up 134 points. The Texans have given up 139 points. The Giants have given up 180-some points through 5 games, an average of 36.4 points a game. They have no pass rush anymore, okay? Their offensive line can't protect Eli Manning. Their offensive line can't open any holes for David Wilson, who, when he does hold on to the ball, hasn't run that well this year. I mean, this is a bad team, but who would have guessed that Tom Coughlin would be overseeing a rebuilding effort with his team sitting at the bottom of the NFC least with an 0-5 record? Next up, the Pittsburgh Steelers, another team that, okay, you know, what were you thinking in the offseason? Mike Wallace abandons you. He's your only good offensive player other than Ben Roethlisberger in that offensive line. Yeah, you've suffered some crippling injuries here this season, but have you really invested enough time and talent in terms of giving Ben some protection? You're 0-4. You've been outscored 110-68. It ain't going to turn around anytime soon, Mike Tomlin. And then finally, the biggest fraud this season? The Dallas Cowboys. I mean, there's a team that's 2-3 because they've had late collapses against the Broncos this past weekend, the Chargers and Kansas City previously. And listen, let's not blame Tony Romo for everything. Because, yeah, Romo threw that costly interception that cost him the game against the Broncos on Sunday. But let's point some fingers elsewhere on this Dallas team. How about their offensive coordinator, Callahan, who, what are you thinking about? Can't you run DeMarco Murray sometimes? I mean, you abandoned the run so early, Romo's forced to throw 40, 50 times a game. You're not going to win that way, okay? Not with your defense. And the defense, Monty Kiffin, you brought you in instead of Rob Ryan. You haven't gotten the job done. Just like you didn't get the job done coaching the defense for USC where your son Lane was at all these years, okay? Really, you haven't done anything with that cover 2 since you were in Tampa Bay. And yeah, it worked a lot better in Tampa Bay when you had Derek Brooks patrolling the sidelines at linebacker and Warren Sapp creating havoc up at defensive end. Works a lot better then. So that's the other fraud. Now, say, what about the Jacksonville Jaguars, guys? Well, did you expect anything from the Jaguars? Because I certainly didn't. So to see them be this pathetic, that's pretty much where I thought they'd be in Gus Bradley's first year of a rebuilding project. The Ravens. 3-2? I expected them to falter. Every Super Bowl winner falters. It's the way the game is now because of the salary cap, players moving for free agency, etc. It's the way it is. The Vikings? Come on, seriously? The Vikings last year benefited from a career season. A season of a lifetime by Adrian Peterson. Did we think he was going to run for 2,000 yards this year? And Christian Ponder was still your quarterback. Ain't going to work. And the Buccaneers. I think every NFL coach, after watching Greg Schiano's high school gimmicks and exploits last year, let's play hard every single down. Let's continue to get after guys even when they're in the kneel-down position. Yeah, that rah-rah crap wears out quickly. These are professional athletes. They don't want to be treated like college athletes anymore. They don't want to be treated like they're back in junior high school. Nah, they don't put up with that crap. So to see the Bucs go off to an 0-4 start and see Josh Freeman, who... what the hell was he as a first-round pick, just like Christian Ponder and Jake Locker and all these other quarterbacks picked so high in the draft and forced into starting roles so early? Who thought Josh Freeman was any good to begin with? So I didn't think the Bucs were really going to be anything more than a sub-500 team this season anyway. So the 0-4 start, no big surprise. Now, the teams that have been a surprise, listen, the Kansas City Chiefs have certainly feasted on a weak schedule. When you play Denver, come back and talk to me about the Chiefs and being undefeated at 5-0. But still, Andy Reid has been a breath of fresh air in Kansas City. And the team is obviously playing well. The Raiders, they have milked everything out of just a team that's, talent-wise, with Terrell Pryor starting at quarterback. 2-3. Hey, they have been competitive, and that's the bottom line. Same thing with the Browns at 3-2. After the first two games when they lost, and then they dispatched Trent Richardson to the Colts, the world was caving in, and then Brian Hoyer, got on his horse and rode to the rescue, only, of course, to suffer the season-ending knee injury in their third straight win last Thursday against Buffalo. But still, to be 3-2 after 5 games, Brownie fans, you got to be ecstatic, especially after how you were feeling the first 2 weeks of the season, right? And then the Jets, you saw what they did on Monday night. A 3-2 start. Rex Ryan has this defense playing tough. This is his best defensive unit since his first year on the job. And offensively, they're managing games well enough, generally putting Geno Smith in a position to win games for them. And the rookie out of West Virginia, I think, has surpassed all expectations. So, that's a little rundown of your NFL. Like I said, I will be returning on Wednesday. And remember, the Charity Play of the Week will be coming your way on Thursday or Friday, so make sure you check out the Daily Video Report each and every day.